What stands out to you, good and bad?
Um, the good thing I say, like we had our good plays and our bad plays, and so when you see the good, I feel like you just gotta see the good and improve from it, and then in the bad plays, see what went wrong in the bad plays, correct it, and make it better.
Are you worried about offensive line continuity? And obviously you weren't there for what OTAs, and then AJ missed a part of a training camp. Is that an issue in your mind, or just whoever's out there, you get out there and play?
No, I don't feel that's an issue because you may not see me on the field, may not see AJ on the field at them point in times, but we still in the locker room together, we still in the meeting rooms together. So we still getting the same coaching points, the same reps, and we all there for each other and got each other back. So I don't feel that's an issue.
Have you seen James today? Gotten any sense if he's okay and coming back soon?
I seen him today, and I'm not really sure on his health stand, but I hope the best for him. You know what I'm saying?
Similar to Perk's question from earlier, what gives you confidence that a performance like this won't spiral? Or, I know it's early in the season, but what gives you confidence that it won't,
Just from the work we put in this offseason and training camp, and just in the NFL and just in the game in general, you got to have short-term memory. And so, NFL, like, you don't know who may come out and win each week. Like, if you did, we'd have everything predetermined. But it's all about who prepares the best that week and comes out and execute on that given Sunday. So it's nothing to be down about. Just make the corrections and come back Wednesday ready to work and come out Sunday and do it the right way.
In pass protection, is this a matter of communication, or is it a little bit bigger than that, do you think?
I don't feel like it's that big a deal. I feel like it just come down to each individual doing their job.
And how about in the run game?
Run game, I feel like we were solid. The reps we did have in the run game, I feel like it was good. Got efficient movement, efficient yards, and we just got to stick to it.
How much of what the Colts did from a pressure standpoint was either kind of what you expected, or how much of it surprised you guys, you think?
I don't think it was a surprise. It just that some of them they got us, and we just got to see them. We learn from them and fix the mistakes.
Playing at home, home opener, how big a boost would that be? How big a help for you guys would that be?
I think it'd be a great boost, and just from being there with our fans, feeling that energy from being back at home, and then also just us hitting them out this past week, like they give you energy as well, like to come out and respond to that. They tell you the type of team you have and the type of guys you got playing next to you.
I didn't know you were not pleased, obviously, with the team result, but you graded out well from all indications. Do you take any solace whatsoever in you at least playing well?
No, we got to win. No.
after kind of looking at the tape, what stood out as far as some of the mistakes and miscues from your vantage point?
What stood out?
Yeah.
We can't have it happen. We practice all week, and we got to go out there and trust the game plan and trust what we are coached to do.
Was it surprising? Because Mike mentioned that a lot of the things that you guys nailed in practice just seemed to fall apart when game day came. What can you kind of say about that part?
Yeah, it was surprising, whether it was nerves or just jitters. We got to learn from it and let it not happen again.
Patrick, what needs to happen for this to not happen again this Sunday?
What needs to happen?
Yeah,
I
is
think
it a matter of correcting mistakes, or is it a little deeper than that? What do you think?
no, it's just correcting the mistakes. You already got punched in the face, so how do you respond from that?
How would you characterize the locker room? Business-like, pissed off, professional, as far as, bouncing back from this loss?
It leaves a bitter taste in your mouth losing like that, so just being able to bounce back and have the resilience to learn from your mistakes, that's all we got to do.
Was there much anger, you think, or more a case of just feeling disappointed in the way you all played, just as a group?
As a group, haven't talked to everyone, but I can speak for myself in that stance. It's not up to par, and it's not our standard, so you just got to learn from it, and that's all it is. How do you react to getting punched in the face?
Offensive line-wise, we know that James Daniels and Austin Jackson did not finish the game. As far as offensive line continuity, how crucial is that? I mean, I don't know how many games you guys were healthy last year, but how you're professionals.
Yeah.
How crucial is the offensive line continuity?
I think with the group that we have this year, if someone does go down, like you said, just being able to know that the guys that are coming in for them have all the reps logged and are ready to go. So that's the most important thing.
Tell me about the excitement of your first NFL regular season game. I know, it was muted excitement, but tell me how excited were you to be out there?
Well, I was really excited just to be out there with the guys that I've been training with all training camp and OTAs and things like that. But yeah, I mean, the outcome wasn't what we expected, but just got to get back to work and hone into our details.
What do you think was the main problem out there with the defense, or what were you guys told was the main problem? Was it discipline or gap control or thing? What was the main problem?
Yeah, like discipline, gap control. Honestly, in general, we were just beating ourselves, doing some uncharacteristic things that we haven't been showing in practice and things like that. But, like I said, we just got to get back to the basics and not beat ourselves ultimately.
What do you think were some of the shortcomings in the pass rush, not getting home against Daniel Jones?
Yeah, I mean, just all of us together, we got to be more collective in the rush and, win our one-on-one opportunities, me, myself included, but, just go back to the basics. We're kind of out of our show, so we just got to get back to the basics.
I heard the phrase "don't get high, don't get too high, don't get too low" a lot yesterday. Just what does that phrase mean to you, and how important will that be this week?
Yeah, it's very important because, when you get too high, when you're winning, that win can, get you unfocused in other things. But when you get too low, the Colts can beat us twice. That's what we like to say. They can beat us twice. They can beat us this week and next week, even though we're not playing them. But, just having that thought that we lost them, we had just got to reset our clock and, on to the next because it's the NFL and, you don't want two losses in a row.
With the pass rush specifically, what were some things that were kind of surprising, or was it surprising given how you guys had performed and kind of gotten that chemistry and closeness built up in the off season? That Bradley Chubb yesterday said you were kind of doing your own thing out there. Was that surprising to you guys?
Yeah, like we just got to get back to our basics. I mean, that's pretty much it. We gotta, like I said, we gotta be more collective in the rush and be on the same, timing and collective rush as a whole D line.
Were there any observations that you can share with us about who, from as a rookie, who was the most intense in the locker room, on the field? I mean, Zach Sealer, Tyreek, Tua, Coach McDaniel, and anything you can share with us about that?
Yeah, I'll just share that we have great leaders, great captains. Everybody has their time and place to speak up. I'll say a guy, Alec Ingle, he really steps up and gets us going. So, just leaning on him and, trying to do right by him.
In that same vein, I guess, what was the mood? I wasn't there. So what was, I guess, the mood in the locker room, immediately after the game? What were some of the things that were kind of said, both then, but then also today as you guys had your meetings?
Yeah, we just got to focus on us. We beat ourselves ultimately. So, I mean, we can't point the finger or blame what the Colts were doing or anything like that. Point the finger right at us and, fix what we can fix and control what we control.
KG, we heard Bradley Chubb after the game say a lot of what went wrong was essentially y'all freestyling or kind of doing your own thing. And we even heard Mike say, there were some guys who were maybe trying too hard to make a play that they would abandon their assignment. Is that something that's been emphasized in the 24 hours or so since the end of the last game?
Yeah, definitely. It's been emphasized, just we have to do more with our D-line of, meeting together more or going out to eat more, just to, build the camaraderie in the group and, just watch film more together. So just be on the same level.